This is SCOREGolf, the voice of Canadian golf. SCOREGolf is powered by Volkswagen, from one good drive to another. And brought to you by RBC, proud sponsor of the RBC Canadian Open. Now, here's your host, Bob Weeks.
Hello everybody and welcome to SCOREGolf TV. Well, I can hear you saying, Bob, what are you doing? You're standing in the middle of the summer in a jacket with snow behind you on top of a mountain. Is this really a golf show? Yes, it is. In fact, it's a great golf show, and we are going to show you why, because we're in Whistler today. Whistler, British Columbia has 4 great golf courses. We're going to show you those a little bit later in our program. But the reason we're here is to show you how much fun you can have coming here on a vacation to golf and do so much more. You can go zip lining, you can go mountain biking, you can have barbecues down by the beach. It's a great place to bring your family, whether they're all golfers or just some of them are golfers. It's a great place to come to do all sorts of things. In fact, one of the best new attractions here is the remarkable peak-to-peak gondola, and that's where we're going to start today's show. The Peak-to-Peak Gondola opened up in December of 2008, and it is the largest unsupported span of its kind in the world, and it is just breathtaking when you come up here. It's a wonderful place to come. You'd think this would be a great place to go in the winter. In the summertime, it's spectacular. You can look down behind me, see the golf courses, you can see the Whistler Sliding Center. It's really an amazing thing to do, and everybody, if you come to Whistler, should be on one of these gondolas, and they're pretty luxurious too. Now, it's also 430 meters above the floor, so if you don't like heights, well, just step back from the edge a little bit. It's still worth it. The trek from peak to peak spans roughly 4.4 kilometers and can hold up to 28 people per cabin. Amazingly, this distance is equivalent to the span of 3.5 Golden Gate bridges. Well, that's the peak to peak up there. It looks pretty small when you're down here on the ground, but that's where we started our show off. Now we're here on terra firma. This is the 8th green here at the Whistler Golf Club, designed by Arnold Palmer. It's one of 4 great golf courses here. Let's show you the first 2 of the great golf courses in Whistler. 3 things make a great golf course: scenery, challenge, and fun. And my course at Whistler has them all. Those are the words spoken from the mouth of Arnold Palmer during the Whistler Golf Club grand opening. And the king has certainly stood true to his word. Palmer's philosophy is to design courses that are fun to play while maintaining complete respect for nature. And that is exactly what you get when you play your round of golf at Whistler Golf Club. Whistler Golf Club is truly one of Canada's finest courses. The snow-capped peaks of Whistler and Blackcomb Mountains surround the course as they overlook giant cedars and fir trees that line each fairway. Reaching nearly 7,000 yards, this par 71 course features 9 lakes, white sand bunkers, and great greens. And in 2012, those greens will be receiving an upgrade that will make them as pure as carpet for an even more enjoyable day. Each hole here has its own personality and can be challenging for the most accomplished golfer. However, its natural beauty makes for a wonderful game for any level of player, as walking these greens is like playing golf at a national park. The range features 5 target greens and a location for both putting and chipping. It's a great place to work on your short game. Arnold Palmer built himself a King's Playground, a playground that is a gift to golfers across Canada and the world. Carved out of the slopes of the Coast Mountain Range in British Columbia, Chateau Whistler Golf Club, with elevation changes of more than 400 feet overall, is a magnificent course that's generous to the eye and provides enough fun and challenge for players of all levels. Designed by Robert Trent Jones Jr. and opened in 1993, this par 72 18-hole layout offers golfers a round of play full of generous size fairways and opportunities for long drives. Trent Jones designed the course by allowing nature to dictate its layout, as the fairways and greens traverse creeks, ponds, stands of ancient Douglas fir, and granite rock faces. This magnificent course follows the natural state of the rugged terrain throughout the Whistler region. As you walk this course, it's easy to see why SCOREGolf has recognized it as one of Canada's top 100 golf courses and one of Canada's premier public places. Make no mistake, Fairmont Chateau Whistler Golf Club is truly one of the world's great golf courses and just another reason to travel to the Whistler region for a round of golf. While golf may be the reason you're visiting Whistler, there are still plenty of other activities to do once you've wrapped up 18 holes. Take Zip Trek Tours, which has been operating since the summer of 2002 and features zip lines that are over 15 stories high and 2,000 feet long. Well, if you've ever wanted to hear me scream like a 3-year-old girl, you're about to hear that as I hurtle myself across this wire, attached hopefully by these cables here. This is zip trekking in Whistler, and they tell me this is a lot of fun. I'm going to find out and I'll let you know if I make it, if and when I make it to the other side. Ah! Woo! The tour takes you through the forest via a combination of suspension bridges, treetop observation platforms, and ground-based trails. Once you begin soaring down the line, you can reach speeds of over 80 kilometers an hour. But don't worry, it's all safe, although a little bit scary. From the beautiful Fairmont Chateau Whistler Golf Course, stay tuned, there's more SCOREGolf TV ahead. We'll hit some more balls from 2 other Whistler fairways after these commercials. You know, one of the great things about coming to Whistler is there is an endless supply of great restaurants, great places to come and have a drink. So once you finish your game of golf, you come down here to the village, you can even just sit around and watch the world go by. It's kind of like a moment in time. And speaking of moments in time, here's this week's Bulova Moment in Time.
Moments in Time, brought to you by Bulova, makers of Precisionist, the world's most accurate watch, with a continuously sweeping second hand.
This week's Bulova Moment in Time features the Memorial Tournament from just a few months ago. And Jason, this was a real tour de force for Steve Stricker, especially on the front 9.
Yeah, for the front 9 for the week, he was 20 under par, and he was 4 over par on the back 9, which is normally not a recipe to win a golf tournament since you need to be making birdies down the stretch in general. He wasn't doing that. He was actually stumbling coming home, but as Stricker always does, he relied on the flat stick. He's one of the best putters on the tour. He made a couple of really good par saves from the sand coming home and really won it with his putter once again.
Patience also part of the order there, as there was a weather delay that kind of hampered things, a very strange one because the 18th hole was basked in sunshine. The rest of the course seemed to be filled up with lightning. However, Steve Stricker did prevail, as you mentioned, got to shake hands with the Golden Bear himself as he wins at the Memorial. Earlier in the program, we showed you 2 of the courses here in Whistler, British Columbia. Now it's time to continue our journey. Let's see the next 2 courses in Whistler. Just 25 miles north of Whistler lies Big Sky Golf and Country Club. Constructed at the base of the massive, jaw-dropping Mount Currie in the Pemberton Valley, Big Sky features a beautiful, picturesque setting for those who love either golf or nature. The course was designed by famed architect Bob Cupp, who also designed the award-winning Pumpkin Ridge in Portland, Oregon. And Big Sky features the finest in golf course conditioning with bent grass from tee to green. The course is a classic links design, built on a gentle rolling terrain that integrates 7 lakes connected by a serpentine creek. Big Sky's signature hole is number 14. This par 4 stares down Mount Currie in the distance. A long drive from the tee has to avoid water to the left and multiple bunkers throughout in order to score well. With beautiful views throughout the course, it's easy to lose focus as nature's beauty sinks in hole after hole. Located around the corner from the Whistler Resort Village, Nicholas North stands out as one of the great courses in North America. Located at the shores of Green Lakes and surrounded by the coastal mountains of BC, this course lies in the valley floor in plain view of Whistler Mountain. With Nicklaus's blend of blue and bentgrass fairways and bentgrass greens, Nicklaus North's 5 sets of tees will present unique challenges to all caliber of golfers. The course was designed to maximize the essence of its setting while testing the instincts of skill of all golfers. The 12th hole is one of the course's most memorable, as the island green has been rated as one of the toughest holes in the province. Even as you land your tee shot on the green, a steep crown causes many shots to roll back into the water. It's hard to find any faults with Nicklaus North, as golfing in the shadow of one of the world's most famous mountains is a unique round of play all Canadian golfers should take in at least once in their playing careers. Ultimately, Whistler offers 4 world-class courses right here in our own backyard. Whether you live in Nova Scotia or Alberta, find your way to the valley to play at least one of these courses, and you will walk away with golf memories like no others. Visit golfwhistler.com to book your getaway before the summer ends. Away from the golf course, you and your family can hit the Whistler Mountain Bike Park. These trails feature a wide variety of tastes and abilities from novice to expert. Guides are there to help you all the way down the hill. Explore over 1,500 meters of lift service descended mountain bike trails.
Now let me tell you something, you may think this is for young people. Wow, this is great. First time I've ever done this, and it is exciting. You gotta do this when you come to Whistler.
The best part may be that you don't have to really pedal. Whether you want to ride gentle bank cruisers through the coastal forest or tight and twisty single tracks, there are trails for all types of riders. The Whistler Mountain Bike Park showcases all elements of perfection. Coming up after the break, one of Canada's top young golfing pros.
You know, when you come to Whistler, you really don't have to follow any rules. You can kind of sleep in late, you can pick whatever activity you want to do, you can wander down to the village and have a big fat dessert with your dinner, or if you can come here to the Fairmont Chateau Whistler Golf Course and play golf anytime you want. Now, if you do come out here, you still have to follow the rules of golf.
The Rules of Golf, helping you understand. Brought to you by BDO Chartered Accountants and Advisors. More than you think.
Okay, Brent McLaughlin, Director of Rules and Competitions for Golf Canada. Here's the situation I'm faced with, which I seem to get into maybe once or twice around. My ball is back there, snug up against the tree. I can't get a club on it. There's no way I'm going to get it near the hole. Now, I could probably try and manufacture something, but I could also take it unplayable. What are my options if I do that?
You can. Rule 28 talks about an unplayable ball, and clearly this situation, although I've seen you play, and you may be able to get a club on it, but if you can't, you have some options available to you. You can go back to where you last played from the fairway. You played your last stroke from there, so you can go back and drop a ball there. You can also keep this point where the ball lay and the flagstick and go back on a line with no limit to how far behind you want to go. So in a situation where a smart player would look at all his options and determine whether I hit a pitching wedge 125, drop at that point. You could also drop within 2 club lengths of where the ball lay. And if you choose that option, you want to be careful, because if the ball subsequently rolls back into the same position, you don't get a free drop a second time. You have to figure out whether you're going to play it or declare it unplayable again.
So I declare it unplayable, one lie, or one stroke, and those are my options. The other thing is I can declare it unplayable anytime?
Almost any time, not in a water hazard. Your only option in a water hazard is Rule 26, but the player is the sole judge of whether his ball is unplayable anywhere other than in a water hazard.
So I can declare it unplayable anywhere I want, like even in the middle of fairway if I was kind of stupid.
In the middle of the fairway, if there was some reason you wanted to declare it unplayable, you can. The only place you can is in a water hazard. You're going to have to proceed under Rule 26.
All right, there's your options if you find yourself in an unplayable situation.
Swing School, lessons to help you play better golf.
Hi, I'm Matt Denzer from the David Ledbetter Golf Academy here at the Fairmont Chateau Golf Club. Today I'd like to give you a tip to work on some more consistent golf contact with your shots. One of the most common faults that we will tend to see with a lot of golfers is that as they will swing the club back, they're going to tend to raise their body up as they swing back, or sometimes on the way down, what we'll tend to see is someone will lose their posture. Their middle will move in, their chest will move up, and their posture will change throughout their golf swing. To make nice, consistent, solid contact, one of the things that we need to do is to maintain those angles. So here's a drill to work on maintaining your angles. Find a chair or something around your house, and what you want to do is you want to get set up where the legs of the chair are off the ground just a little bit. So as you make a swing back, you want to keep the legs up, and as you make a swing on the way through, you want to again keep the legs up, because if you raise up, the chair falls down, or even on the downswing, the chair can fall down again. So for good consistent contact, keep this chair up both on the way back and on the way through. I hope this helps you with better contact. For more help, please see your local CPGA pro.
Golf Gives Back. Brought to you by RBC.
Stephanie Sherlock is one of Canada's bright young female talents. Playing in her first year on the LPGA Tour, this rookie spent time working on her game with both the national team and on scholarship at the University of Denver.
I always wanted to go to school and get my degree. That was always important to me. I didn't really know what I wanted to do going in there. Golf was kind of, I didn't know if that's really what road I wanted to go down. So it was a great learning experience for me. I was there for 4 years, had a blast. Denver's a great city. It was a small school, almost a little bit like a high school atmosphere. Which was nice. I got to meet a lot of cool people. All the athletes were pretty close, and we all hung out together, which was neat. My second year, I got a little bit better, and I started, playing better. And I thought, I should give this a shot. Put in a lot of time, and it's worth a shot. So here I am.
As a rookie on tour, she's been able to depend on some of Canada's other LPGA Tour stars to guide her through the first year.
The Canadians have all been really helpful. Lori Kane's been great. I actually got paired with her in one of the events. So that was fun, and Elena's been great too. She's like my big sister, they call it on tour. They kind of pair you up with somebody, so she's been helpful as well. We were out on the West Coast at the beginning of the year, and now we're kind of playing around home, so I've been driving to a lot of events, but playing pretty well. I've learned a lot for sure, from all the players out there and my caddy and getting to know all the golf courses. It's been a lot of fun.
After playing in her first major of the Kraft Nabisco, Sherlock is ready to tee it up at her second, the Ricoh Women's British Open at Carnoustie in Scotland.
Really excited. I've been over there 4 or 5 times now. It's awesome golf. It's totally different from what you are used to here. So really looking forward to getting over there and getting lots of practice rounds in before and getting a feel for it and going out and competing at Carnoustie, which is a historic venue, so I'm excited. Well, Carnoustie is a pretty traditionally famous venue for the British Open. I've watched a few of them on there. I remember a couple of people winning and watching them play those couple holes. They're pretty tough. They've got that creek going through there on 18. It's a tough par 5. So I'm really looking forward to getting over there. You don't really know, watching TV is a little different from when you really get there. It always looks a little bit different.
With a silky smooth swing, Sherlock has the game to have a long-lasting career on the LPGA Tour. But what are her goals?
Yeah, I've got, I think 5 events left guaranteed, so hopefully I'll, make a couple more cuts and work my way back up into the top 60, and I think it's top 80 that get their card back, so that's obviously the goal, to get my card back so I can play again next year. You can't think about the cut too much, just kind of play your game and have fun out there and look at the big picture. If you're not having a great day, just kind of, look back and say, wow, this was pretty cool, and just to enjoy it. It's tough being a rookie just because you don't really know what you're playing in. So I was in LA and I finished well, and all of a sudden I was going to Kraft the next week, which I hadn't really planned for at all, and I had no idea, so I had to do all that planning kind of last minute. And every week's different. You don't know what you're going to get into, so it's a little stressful that way because you're trying to plan at the start of the year, but there's really no point. You just got to wing it, and you might get into stuff, you might not. Sometimes you'd have to go out to the event and wait around. You might not get in, you might get in, so it's a little bit different that way, comparing it to amateur golf.
Let's check out some of the summer's best gear when we return.
The Technology Report, a look at the science, research, and development of the game.
Okay, Rick Young, this time we're going to talk about hybrids, which of course everybody has in their bag these days. And one of the big leaders, the big names in the hybrid category, of course, is Adams, and they've got a hot one again for 2011.
Yeah, the new V3, Bob. This one's going to give you great ball flight. It's going to give you that confidence, I think. That's what these things are. Is sometimes they're confidence, because a lot of times you're hitting them from bad lies.
Also, Titleist has a really good new hybrid as well.
Yeah, the 910, in this case H for hybrid. And what Titleist has done here is the same as what they've done on the top end of their golf clubs with the SureFit Tour technology, the Tour van and a hosel. So you can set this thing for loft, lie, and face angle as well. And this is one that's getting a lot of play, even on the tour. A lot of tour players don't have hybrids in their bag, or at least they didn't. They do now, and this is one of the big ones out there.
Finally, a couple other in the category. I like the new Nike one, the VR Pro. It's a little smaller, a little more compact, looks a little more sleek, I guess.
Yeah, a little smaller and a little sleek, like you say. What's great about this one is the compression channel that they've been able to incorporate in the bottom. We see that in the driver, we see it in the fairway wood. But they've been able to figure out a way to put it into the hybrid, which is great for the consumer. It's going to lessen the drag. You're going to get more distance out of it.
Okay, some good looking hybrids for 2011. You should have like 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 of these in your club, depending on how your game is. So check them out.
Week Speaks is brought to you by Bushnell, makers of the new Hybrid Laser GPS rangefinder.
Well, you know, I may not be the most interesting man in the world, but when it comes to golf, I do have a pretty darn good job. Yeah, I get paid to kind of go around to different golf courses all across the country. But you know what makes my job so special? Is doing things like this afterwards, is you get to see some amazing places in this country. This is a wonderful little restaurant sitting here at Araxi in Whistler Village. And this is the kind of thing that I think makes golf in Canada so good, and golf really around the world. You don't have to have a job like mine to enjoy going and traveling around the world, playing golf and using that as your base to see the country, to see different countries, to see different parts of the world. I think that's what makes golf so fascinating. You can go out and play a golf course in one part of the country, enjoy the culture, enjoy what's going on in the local villages. If you go to Prince Edward Island, if you go to Muskoka, if you go to Kananaskis, if you go to the Rockies, wherever you may happen to go, everything is great. You get to experience new things, and that's really, to me, what makes golf such a great game. That's all the time we have. I'd like to thank everybody here in Whistler for our trip here. It's been an amazing experience, folks. Come out here. It's a great place to vacation. Bring your golf clubs, but bring your imagination, because there is so much to do out here in Whistler. We'll see you next time on Score Golf TV.
Thanks for watching Score Golf on TSN, the voice of Canadian golf. Score Golf is powered by Volkswagen. From one good drive to another. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. Via Rail Canada, proud sponsor of golf in Canada.